y'all, this is your plant bestie Chula here. Welcome to my channel, Hooked on Houseplants, where we love our plants, but say it with me, we don't let them stress us out. All right, so we got that out the way. Now listen, in my last video, I asked you all what collection you wanted to see next, okay, or what genus, I should say, within my collection that you wanted to see next. And it's no surprise, you know what you all wanted to see next. Hoya, okay? Because y'all love y'all some Hoya. So that is what most of you requested. So that is what we will be looking at today, all of my Hoya. And can you believe that I have almost 50? You know that don't make no sense. I didn't even realize I had so many Hoya until I counted them the other day. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go over to, take you over to the flex space where you can see the Hoya that I have hanging, and many of them are also the Hoya that I have had the longest. Okay, so this video, it is gonna be kind of long, so get comfortable, get you whatever you need, get you a blanket if it's cold, get you a snack, and let's go. All right, we headed over to the flex room. Okay, y'all, so we are in the flex space. I am filming this video in the evening, so unfortunately I won't be able to show you the light that comes in through the windows. But most of you, if you're not new to my channel, you kind of know or you might remember how much light comes through the window, but it gets really good sunlight in here. And so that's why I have a lot of my larger Hoya in here that I feel need to trail or need to hang. So starting over here to the left is my Hoya pubicalix. Okay, so this is one of the Hoya that I have had the longest. I think I've had this Hoya about 3 years. And I have cut this Hoya back tremendously because if you remember some of my earlier Hoya videos, this thing was out of control. And so I cut her way back and I took cuttings. I rerooted this Hoya in water. And once she had roots, I put her into semi-hydro. So this is one of the few Hoya that I have growing in pond as well as self-watering setup. This is definitely a Hoya that I would recommend to newer plant parents because it is a prolific grower. It's not a what I would call demanding Hoya. It is forgiving because I can't even tell you the times that I have forgotten to water this thing. And it's very rewarding. It's going to give you beautiful, elongated leaves. These are newer leaves. Look how pretty and long this leaf is. So, Hoya pubicalix. And I will say that I have to refill the reservoir probably like every maybe 2.5 weeks. All right, that is the pubicalix. All right, so next up we have the Crimson Princess. This is also a Hoya that I have had for quite a while, probably about 4 years now. This is a very long Hoya, as you can see. I have the trailing portion kind of hooked up there in the back because certain little animals want to mess with the parts that are trailing. Not gonna say any names. So yeah, I've kind of had to pin this Hoya up. And this is another one that I would recommend to newer plant parents. I'm looking at this leaf and it doesn't look too good for some reason. The coloring is very pretty. It looks like it's almost trying to sun stress, but for some reason there's some damage on this leaf. But look at some of these other leaves. Look how pretty that variegation is. So yeah, this is a pretty easygoing Hoya. This one is in a chunky potting mix. And I will link the short that I made where I specifically show you how I make my potting mix, because I recently repotted all of these Hoya in here because they had not been repotted in about 2 or 3 years. And I would say I have to refill this one because this is in self-watering as well. All of my Hoya are in self-watering, by the way. So I have to refill the reservoir for this one probably once every 2 weeks. And this is a more common Hoya. It's really easy to find. I would even venture to say, even though I haven't really seen it that much in the big box stores, but I know that some of you have. Look how pretty that pink is. So this is the Crimson Princess, with the variegation is on the inside of the leaf. All right, so now we have the latafogia or dinner plate Hoya. And if you remember, for a long time, I had this Hoya on a trellis. The leaves are really large on this Hoya and it's very heavy. And so I thought that it would look better trailing as opposed to being on the trellis. Look at that. So pretty. And it has slight variegation, if you can see. But it's so pretty. Such a beautiful Hoya. And very easy going. Long as you keep it watered. This one is on the thirstier side. I'll say that I have to refill this one like every 2 weeks as well. And it is also in a chunky potting mix, as you can see. It has another little baby leaf coming up right there. And I thought I saw oh look. There's another little baby leaf right there. And this is a newer one as well. So this one is like really growing, even though it's winter time. And look, I think that's another one right there too. So yes, this is one of my favorites. She is large and in charge, and I just love her. Very easygoing Hoya, very beautiful. Very juicy, big, satisfying leaves. All right, so, oh, and the latafolia, I've had this one probably about 2 years. Okay, so I know y'all remember my girl Chelsea. Okay, Chelsea had a case of dry rot, which was my fault. Went too long without watering, watered her, and she began to rot. Her leaves began to yellow and drop. So I bit the bullet, took a whole bunch of cuttings, rerooted her in water. Once she developed roots, I put her into semi-hydro. So she is in a mixture of leca and pond. She is doing quite well. Now this one, I refill, I check her reservoir probably once every 3 weeks. And you can see some new growth that she has right there. Right there. Then she has a little growth spike right there. And I've had this particular Hoya about 4 years as well. And one thing that a lot of people like about the Chelsea is the textured leaves. You see how they dip in the near the middle part. So yeah, she's really pretty. She kind of reminds me of the Crinkle 8 a little bit, but I think the Crinkle 8 has more dips in it, if I'm not mistaken. But this is a very easygoing Hoya as well. Hoya Chelsea. Okay, so up here is the black margin. I have not had this one that long. I want to say probably, oh yeah, I hope I do not fall from here. I'm standing on the arm of the sofa. But yeah, this is the black margin. I've had this one probably about 6 months. She is also in a chunky potting mix. I usually have to refill this one probably like every 3 weeks. It's not a terribly thirsty Hoya, but I love how shiny the leaves are. I don't see, do y'all see that? Ooh, I just want to punch that net. I don't really see a margin on this one. It's supposed to be the black margin, but I really don't see much of a black margin, but it's okay. It's still very pretty. Very shiny, pretty leaves. Look at that. And all of these Hoya, for the most part, the latafolia might still be just a little bit, well, no, not really. The price on the latafolia has came down as well. But most of these Hoya that you've seen so far are very reasonable in price. They're not going to break the bank. Okay, so this is the choke, Hoya choke. Y'all, Simon done lost his glasses. Simon, put your glasses back on. So anyway, this is another very easygoing Hoya. I've had this one probably about 6 months too. And I think I found this one at Home Depot, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this one has, you know, smaller leaves, kind of like the Mathilde. But the Mathilde has more splashing. You know what? It might even be a hybrid of the Mathilde. I wonder if it is. But these are 2 new leaves on top. They're so cute. And yeah, it's doing really well. Self-watering. I said to myself, I'm not gonna be repeating myself, and I still do. All of my Hoya are in self-watering, okay? So y'all will not hear me say that again. And it is in a chunky mix. So all of them, unless I say otherwise, are in a chunky aeroid mix. This is another Hoya that I would recommend. If you are getting into Hoya, it is very easy going and beautiful. Hoya choke. All right, so here we have the Crimson Queen, y'all, look at that. Look how gorgeous. Look at that pink sun stressing. Oh my goodness. These Hoya love it in here. They love this sun. If I could just get them to bloom, which I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Remember that Hoya Bloom Challenge? Well, nothing has happened thus far. I'm going to show you what I have been fertilizing them with. It's from Fox Farm, and it's supposed to specifically encourage blooming. But I've only, to be fair, I have only been using it consistently probably for about almost 2 months now. And so far, no blooms. But anyway, yes, this is the queen with the variegation on the outer portions of the leaf, as you can see. This Hoya I have also had for quite a while, probably about 4 years. This was one of the first Hoya that I was able to get my hands on. And one thing that you'll notice that this Hoya does is it does produce white leaves. And surprisingly, they last for quite a while before they start to brown. And I've heard other people say the same thing. They're not like other white leaves on plants that don't produce the chlorophyll and that brown pretty quickly. And these are actually like a very pretty, like baby pink color. Do you see that? These are more white. These are, well, that has like some light pink sun stressing too, but it's so pretty. Do you see that pink? What's it called? Is it stem? It's not called stem. I can't think of what it's called, but it's so pretty. Another easygoing Hoya. I refill this one about every 2.5 weeks as well. It has another little baby leaf coming right there. So pretty, so pretty. It's nice to just take time sometimes and just really look at your plants and really appreciate the beauty of some of these leaves. The variegation. Tendril, that was the word. Look at this long tendril. And it has 2 leaves right there, about to open up. So this is another beautiful Hoya, y'all. Very beautiful. Some people would call this a basic Hoya, but if it is basic, it's beautiful, honey. Because, honey, basic can be beautiful. All right. All right, I'm going to step back so y'all can take in this obovata with these beautiful, beautiful paddle-shaped leaves. Look at that. Look how huge. Look how thick these stems are getting. I have had this obovata for about 4 years now. We've been together through the good times, the bad times. In the beginning, I kind of struggled with this Hoya until I put it in self-watering. I could not get the watering right. And if you're not new to my channel, you know that that is the reason why my Hoya are in self-watering, because I have a hard time figuring out when to water them. So self-watering has been a lifesaver for me. But as I always say, you still gotta remember to refill the reservoir. Now this one is a thirstier beast. I have to refill the reservoir probably about every 1.5 weeks. Mind you, I don't fill it like all the way up to the top. Maybe I should, but I just don't. Look at that variegation. So pretty. This is a new leaf right there. And there's another new leaf. And what else she got going on? These are new leaves. Now these are looking kind of crazy. Sometimes they'll come in looking like that and then they'll kind of straighten themselves out. But surprisingly, y'all, all of these Hoya that I have shown you have never had mealy bugs. They've never had any pest thus far. None of the ones in this room that I have shown you. So that has definitely been a plus. Look how big, do y'all see how big that leaf is? And it's so, the texture, I just love it. Listen, can you hear that? How thick that leaf is. Look, look. Yes, I'm using my hand because I want y'all to see the size of this leaf. Beautiful Hoya, y'all. Beautiful Hoya. The light just went out. It said my device is too hot, so, but y'all, I'm pretty sure y'all can still see it. And anyway, that's the last Hoya in this room that I wanted to show you, the obovata. So let me stand back so y'all can see how these gorgeous Hoya are looking. And when I repotted all of these, it's been probably about almost 3 months now, with the exception of the pubicalix because that's in pond. I treated them with systemic, bonite systemic. And I try to do that every 2 or 3 months. And maybe that's why they've always been pest free, because I know a lot of you say that your Hoya get mealies, but none of my Hoya have ever had mealies. And I don't know if it's because I treat them with systemic regularly, or well, I try to do it regular. But that is it, y'all. That is the Hoya in this room. All right, so now we're gonna head over to the plant room. So we are in the plant room, and before I take these Hoya down from this shelf, I just kind of wanted you to see where their home is, where I keep them, how much light they get. I actually have this light turned off. Let me turn it on so y'all can see what the lighting looks like. Okay, that's better. So they get light from that grow light right there, as well as this track lighting. So this is where a large portion of my Hoya are. So I'm gonna take them down and show you them one by one. Okay, y'all, so I am back. I am sitting down. Okay, so I am going to show you all of the Hoya that were on that top shelf that I just showed you. And I'm gonna start with the rain sand. This seems to be a staple, or is becoming a staple, I would say, in most people's collections. You know, unless I specifically say that they have been difficult for me, the majority of the Hoya that I have been pretty easygoing. They really have. I mean, besides the occasional flat mite outbreak. They, for the most part, have been pretty much easygoing, but let me tell you, there are two Hoya that I no longer have, and that is the callistophylla as well as the crassipetiolata splash. I don't know what it is about those crassipetiolatas. I just cannot with those. I had the regular non-variegated one. I lost that one. It rotted. And I had the splash, which I believe had flat mites. I kept treating it. It seemed like it would be okay for a while. It would grow a little leaf and then try to grow another leaf, and then that one would fall off. And so I didn't want to risk my other Hoya in that area, so I just threw it away. I did. But I did order another one. Okay, I do have another crassipetiolata on the way because I really, really like that Hoya. Callistophylla, I don't think I'm a fool with Callistophylla because see, I done had Callistophylla twice. This is my second time. And I don't know if I'm just getting unhealthy ones or if it's just something that I don't understand about the care. Please let me know down in the comments if you struggle with the Callistophylla. I've heard people say it grows slow for them. I've heard people say it grows well for them. So I don't know. I don't know. I do have a version of the Callistophylla that, or a hybrid or whatever, that I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, I got rid of that one. So anyway, I'm sorry, Rain Sand. This is another easygoing one, very beautiful, has very nice variegated leaves. And to me, the variegation looks a little different. It's like the green part is almost kind of like a grayish green, and it's very pretty. Very pretty Hoya. So yep, this is the Rain Sand. And it has this long tendril. That's a new baby leaf, as well as this one. Very good grower. I haven't had this one that long. I got this in a plant swap with Latina plants, and I cannot remember when that was. I'm gonna link the video in case you want to see it. I guess it's been about maybe 3 or 4 months ago. So yeah, I haven't had this Hoya that long. I think when I got it, it may have had maybe just these 3 leaves. So all of this is new up here at the top. Okay, next up is the sigillatus round leaf Borneo. This is another, now this is a Hoya that I have struggled with. As you can see, some of the leaves are kind of curled up. I don't know what that is about, but I have been treating this plant with insecticidal soap because I don't know what's going on with it. I was treating it with sulfur at first, and it started pushing out leaves. It started pushing out leaves, and so I'm like, okay, it must be okay. But then some of the leaves are curled. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know why some of them are curled like this. I feel like I give it enough water. Or I don't know if maybe I'm overwatering. I don't think I'm overwatering though. But at least it is growing. At first it wasn't even growing. So, yeah, let me know if you have this Hoya. And if to look at that, that leaf is so twisted. It's like curled up. So I don't know. I don't know about that. So I'm probably will have to keep treating it. Or I might have to look at the roots possibly to see if something's going on. But I don't know if I would recommend this for beginners. That's just my opinion. You know, some of you may have not had problems with this one. But yeah, sigillatus Borneo silver. To be honest, this is a Hoya that because this is the second time I've had this Hoya. So if this one was to tank, I wouldn't repurchase. You know, I would be okay with not having this Hoya in my collection. So there is that one. And this is also a newer one. I've had this probably almost 2 months now. This is the pot of gold, the latafogia pot of gold. And this one reminds me a lot of the macrophylla, if it's still called that. But the variegation on this one is like on the inner part of the leaf. And I have really seen some gorgeous specimens of this plant where it literally looks like gold, the yellow portions of the leaf. This one is, I wouldn't say it's particularly thirsty. Unless I say otherwise, the majority of my Hoya, I refill the reservoir like between every week and a half to probably 2.5 weeks. It's very rarely that I go 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, I mean, that to me, that is one misconception. Now, granted, we all know, because you know you better clarify, because people will come for you. We all know everybody's environment is different. So I'm just saying, in my environment, they have been more on the moderately thirsty side. Because when I first started learning about Hoya, I heard so many people say to let them dry out, that you're supposed to let them dry out, that they don't like a lot of water. But the Hoya that I have, I'm not going to call them thirsty. I'm not. But I'm going to put them right there in the middle. Okay, so they like their water too. But what I try to do is before, I don't just, or I try not to just go and fill up the reservoir. I do check first. I do check the substrate first, kind of with my finger, kind of do like that. And if I still feel moisture on top, even if the reservoir is empty, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait before I put water. I probably will recheck in probably like 3 or 4 days if the top is still moist. So yeah, I recommend that you do that. I also sometimes, if I just still want to be really, really sure, I'll use the moisture meter. But yeah, I always check the top before I fill. So this is the pot of gold. Look how pretty that variegation is. All right, so let's see. Let's go with fungi or fungi. This one has kind of been a slower grower for me as well. I want to say I've had this one probably about 3 or 4 months too. This is another one that I got in the swap. And I like this Hoya. It's not a real flashy Hoya per se. I don't know what this leaf is doing. Look, this leaf. This leaf got it got a big butt. Look, look, look. Look at the back of that leaf. Girl, this leaf is showing out. Look at that. I don't know why it's dipping like that, y'all. I do not know why, because this is how the leaf usually looks. So I don't know what's going on with sister. That is too funny. But yeah, it's a nice little Hoya. It's just okay. To me, it's just okay. It's not like, ooh, like, I mean, I don't feel like if something were to happen to this Hoya, I don't think I would replace it because it's not really, I don't know, it's just okay. But it has been an easy Hoya. It does have a leaf right there coming out. And yep, that's the fungi. Look, and here go the leaf with the booty. Okay. All right, so this is the, I'm gonna say globulosa. I know some of y'all probably gonna correct me. It's like, why can I not just look it up and find out what it really is? Like, why am I so lazy that I cannot do that? Every time I show you this Hoya, I say the same thing, that I don't know if it's the globulosa or the villosa, but I'm gonna say globulosa today. I could be wrong, but that's what it's gonna be today. So this is one of my favorites. I mean, it's just, you can look at the leaf and kind of see why. Like, the leaf got it going on. Like, it's elongated, it's rippled, okay? It has that veination on the fronts as well as the back. And it's fuzzy on the back, so it's giving texture too. I mean, like, you just cannot go wrong with this Hoya. It's beautiful. Now, this one's kind of on the thirstier side. It probably needs to be repotted. Well, the roots are not that bad. I don't know if you can see those roots. They're not that bad. But it is dry. It seems like I just filled this one. So this is probably one that I find that the Hoya with the thicker leaves, like the obovata. Now, these leaves are not as thick as the obovata, but the obovata to me has been more on the thirstier side. I think that was one of the ones that I said that I check every week and a half. So this one is also kind of like more on the thirsty side, probably because of the leaves being thick. But it is a gorgeous, gorgeous Hoya. Okay, so there is that one. This is the Snow Queen. This at one time was a wish list Hoya. And I am noticing that slowly but surely the price on this particular Hoya is going down. I think that the more, now what I have observed is the more splashier ones tend to be a little bit more expensive. I would say that mine is not, I would say the splashiness is like medium. I'll say it's not like ooh, but it does have nice splashing on it. This one is kind of a slower growing Hoya. I've had this Hoya for about a year. And I think when I got it, it was just a 2-leaf cutting. So within 2 years, it's giving me, I mean, within 1 year, it's giving me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 leaves. I guess that's not bad. What you see on these leaves is when I had it out on the patio, it was right under a grow light. And it was right under a grow light, and I had treated the leaves with some type of insecticidal soap or something, and it burned the leaves. So if you're going to treat your leaves, I would treat them at night. Don't treat them and then put them right under the grow lights, because then you'll get stuff like this. So it damaged 2 of the leaves. But other than that, it's been a very easy going Hoya. So this is the Latafogia Snow Queen. Okay, this is another thirsty one, and it's also one of my favorites. This is the AH074. It's also called Silver Moon or something moon, but it's beautiful. Do y'all see that silver? Do you see that silverness, that luscious silverness that these leaves have? And it's a very different variegation too. That kind of looks like a Wilbur Grave leaf, don't it? But yeah, the silver just is just, this is a good grower too. This is a, I would say a fast growing Hoya, because when I got this one, it probably only had like 2 or 3 leaves, and I've had this plant for about a year now. So it is a, I would say it's a prolific grower, hasn't given me any trouble. This one is also more on the thirsty side. Um, I'll say I have to check it like every week and a half. But yeah, very beautiful. Look at this new leaf. Look how big that leaf is. It doesn't have any variegation, but, well, it has a little bit of splashing, but look how big it is. But yeah, this is a very beautiful Hoya. I see this a lot in other people's collections. So that's the AH074. All right, so now we have Miss mckee. Now listen, Miss mckee, she is slow. This is a slow growing Hoya. I feel like I done had this Hoya forever. No, I've had this Hoya for almost a year. And when I got it, it had this leaf and this leaf. So within the time I've had it, it has just given me 3 leaves. So yeah, that's what it is. A beautiful Hoya. The shape of the leaf is kind of different. It's almost like a upside down teardrop, but it has very nice splashing, and it has this textured leaf too. So yeah, let me know if you have this Hoya and if it's been a slow grower for you. It's kind of like I almost want to take it off this trellis, because look at that's that's looking kind of crazy. Just got them 2 leaves hanging up there. I might do something different with this. I might try to get a little bit creative with this one, since it doesn't have that many leaves. I might be able to do something cute with it. But yep, that is the Hoya mckee. At least that's how I hear a lot of people pronounce it, because you know I was saying Michelle. You know I was saying Michelle. But I've heard people, they've been saying mckee, so I believe that is the correct pronunciation. All right. Oh, where do I want to go next? Okay, so this is the callistophylla that I was telling y'all about, that don't be growing either. This is the round leaf. This is what's sold to me as the callistophylla round leaf. Now, I've had this one probably about 5 or 6 months. And I don't think it has given me any leaves, y'all. I think it came with all of these leaves, but it has not given me anything else. But it has given me this, what you see right here, and it feel kind of dry. I don't even know if it's going to produce anything. But this tendril is new. But it feels like really like woody. Like it feels like, it don't feel supple, if you know what I'm talking about. I don't know if that's just how this particular Hoya grows, but it's a weird feeling tendril. I can't explain it, but it does have venation like the callistophylla, but it's not as pronounced. If you can kind of see what I'm talking about, it does have a slight pattern on the leaves, but I don't know how I feel about this one. I think I like the regular callistophylla better. This one is just not, it's just okay. If I had to get rid of any Hoya, this probably would be one of them. And then on top of that, it's not growing, it's not doing anything. But it's not losing any leaves, so that's a good thing. So we'll see. But yeah, this is the callistophylla round leaf. Next up, we have, this is one of my favorites. Y'all, I got this one from Home Depot. This is the Carnosa Splash. Y'all, look how beautiful this Hoya is. When I got this Hoya, it had maybe like 4 or 5 leaves, and it was like $5.98 at Home Depot. And I want to say, I know I got it in the summertime, okay? And like I said, it had like 4 or 5 leaves. And look at this. Look at this Hoya. It's gorgeous. Like, it's, okay, this is the back of it. This is how the back is looking. But look at the shininess of the leaves. I didn't put anything on these leaves. Now that is something that I do though. I wash off the leaves of my Hoya. I rinse them off. When they need to be watered, or I'm checking their reservoir, if they do need to be watered, I rinse their leaves off. I do. But I haven't put anything on these leaves. They just look like this. Isn't that beautiful? I highly 100% recommend this Hoya. The Carnosa varieties anyway, which I have heard many people say, they seem to be more on the easier side because, you know, the Wilbur Graves, if I'm not mistaken, is a Carnosa. And that one is a vigorous grower. It is a very easy and beautiful Hoya. But this one, I'm just very impressed with this Hoya. Like I said, this is one of my favorite. I love the dark shininess of the leaves and the subtle splashing. Y'all, you got to get you one if you don't already have one. Carnosa Splash. Now, I just repotted this Hoya because it had leaves growing out. I mean, the roots were growing down out of the reservoir. And so I just upsized it. I think it was in a 4-inch pot. And I think this is either a 6 or 7-inch. So yeah, I just repotted this one. Okay. So this is another favorite, the silver dollar. I gotta hurry up. I have so many more to show you. This is the silver dollar. Not gonna go into the whole spiel like I normally do about the flat mites, but yes, this one did have flat mites. I did have to treat this plant very thoroughly. I treated it, I think, like 3 times. I actually took it out of the substrate that it was in. I treated the roots and I repotted it. So it's been in this substrate now for probably about 3 months, and it is starting to grow again. Y'all see all that tendril action? Look at that. It has a leaf right there, a tiny little one. I think one right there too, if you can see it. And do that look like a peduncle? Is that a peduncle, y'all? I don't know if y'all can see that. What is that? I hope it's a peduncle. It's probably not. But anyway, I'm just glad that it is doing so well, that it's making a comeback, because this is one of my favorites. I've had this Hoya for over a year. It has been a very when it grows, it grows. It'll have like growth spurts, kind of like with kids. It'll grow real good, and then it'll stop for like a couple of months, and then all of a sudden it'll just start growing again. So this one has done that to me twice, but the second time I think it did it was because of the flat mites. But this is the silver dollar, y'all. She is a beauty. And look at the back of the leaves. Even the back of the leaves have like a little pattern to them. Look how pretty this one is. Look at that. Look at that. That is so pretty. I love the silver dollar, y'all. Okay, put her back. This is another beast right here. Ooh, please don't let me drop it. This is the macrophylla. And this one is in semi-hydro. Now, when I first got this plant, now this is another one that I've had for over a year, probably about a year and a half. And when I first got it, it was in potting mix. And something happened and I ended up taking cuttings. I can't remember what happened with this plant. I think it started to lose leaves. They started to yellow and I didn't know what was going on. So I took a whole bunch of cuttings and I totally rerooted this Hoya. And so once it grew roots, I said, okay, I'm going to put it in semi-hydro. It's in pond and it's loving the pond life. Do you hear me? Do y'all see this? Do y'all see how huge this Hoya is and beautiful? Look how big this leaf is. Like, where they do that at? Y'all look. Look at that. Look at that leaf. I mean, and then it got some trailing action. Got the nerve to look. It's trailing. It's just doing it all. It's just doing the most. Then it got y'all look at me talking. I done knocked off one of the leaves. Oh, how did I do that? Running my mouth. But yes, this is a very beautiful Hoya, y'all. A very nice grower. Let me look at the roots, see what the roots is doing. Well, yep, it got roots coming out the pot. So I probably had to up pot. I'm in no rush though, and it need to be watered. It's dry. But yes, this is a very, very beautiful Hoya. To me, this has been an easy Hoya to grow. Okay, let me carefully put her down. Probably done knocked over another leaf. Okay, this is another beast. And I'm really proud of this one because this is the second time that I've had the Australis Lisa. The first one didn't make it. And I have heard mixed reviews about this Hoya. Let me know in the comments because I've heard like 50-50, I'll say. Like half people have said it's a difficult Hoya to grow. And then some people have said that they haven't had any trouble. Now it seems as if mine is reverting. And I'm kind of a little bit salty about that because I do like the variegated leaves. You can kind of see a splashing of variegated leaves in there, but most of these leaves are non-variegated. So I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if I like that because I really like the variegated leaves. But yeah, all these up at the top for the most part are non-variegated. So yeah, this thing has took off. I just recently up potted this one too. And you can see the chunky mix that it's in. But it has been growing great for me. I'm so happy because I didn't know if I was going to be able to grow this one. Yep, this is another one that has really shiny, dark leaves, the leaves that aren't variegated. So, yep, this is the australis lisa with a little bit of variegation on some of the leaves. Look how pretty those little leaves are. That one looks like it has a little bit of variegation right there. Very beautiful Hoya. This one is also becoming a favorite, even though it doesn't have the beautiful sun stressing, which this is why I wanted this particular Hoya. This is the Hoya Sunrise, but I don't even care because, okay, first of all, I love the way this Hoya is growing. To me, it has a very distinctive growth pattern. Do y'all see that? Y'all see how this tendril like curls a little and how the leaves grow on it? I love that. I love the way this Hoya grows. Look how pretty it is. Oh, so pretty. And it is starting to sun stress a little bit. I don't know if you can see it on that edge. It is starting to sun stress, but even if it doesn't, it's just so pretty to me. This is such a pretty Hoya. Now I've had this one. This one is an excellent grower because I haven't even had this one that long. I want to say I've had this one. Did I get it in the swamp? Is this one of the ones I got in the swamp? I don't even remember. But I haven't had it that long. And it's just, I highly 100% recommend this Hoya. It does seem to be a staple in a lot of people's collections, but this is a very pretty and easygoing Hoya, the Hoya Sunrise. Okay. And in case you don't know what it looks like when it's sun stressed, I will insert some pictures. Most people do though, but it has very beautiful sun stressed leaves. Okay, this is another one that I've had for a while. Ooh, it's getting caught on stuff. And it's dry too. This is the Hoya mathilde, y'all, looking crazy. Now, I had this plant on a trellis for the longest time, and I took it off the trellis a couple of months ago. I know y'all are like, Chula, what is... There I go, snorting like a pig. I know y'all are like, what is that? Like, what type of setup? Y'all, just let me tell you something. Sometimes you just got to work with what you have, okay? So this is a self-watering setup. I know I need to do better, y'all. I could have done better. I could have done better than this. But I did want it to sit up high. And this, I am achieving that. So, but yeah, I could do something cuter than this, I will admit. And because she's dry, she has some yellowing leaves right there. I gotta stop doing Miss Mathilde dirty. But she's a cutie. She has cute little button leaves. Mine is not highly splashed or highly variegated. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. But it's so cute. It has the cutest little button leaves. And some of the leaves, look at this thing, y'all. Look at it. Some of the leaves are on the bigger side. Like there's some of them, I can't find none of them at the moment. But this one has produced peduncles and they always blast. Like they never do anything. This Hoya I've had for about 2.5 to 3 years. So this is one of the ones that I've had for quite some time. But yep, this is the Hoya mathilde, y'all. Another staple that most people have in their Hoya collections is also full on top too, so I like that. But I think she looks cuter trailing than she did when I had her on the trellis. All right, so you put her back. Is that it? Oh, how could I forget about this one? Y'all, this is one of my favorites. This is the Hoya elephant, y'all. Now, when I got the elephant in the room, no, I think it's also called the prick tie. I think I need to do something with this. This is not cute. But when I got it, it came with this huge leaf, and it came with another small leaf right there, and it fell off. It yellowed and fell off for whatever reason. But if you notice, this leaf, when I first got this plant, this leaf was chlorotic. It was actually lighter than this. But I noticed that it's slowly getting darker, but it was like almost yellow, this leaf was. And so, how long have I had this? I've had this one about 4 or 5 months. And so it has given me what, 1, 2, 3, 4 leaves in that time, and that is not bad. This is one of the bigger leaves that it's given me. Look at that splashing. So you see how dark this leaf is compared to that one? So you can see that something was going on with this plant when I got it. Maybe it wasn't getting the nutrients that it needed, because these are a whole lot darker. And this is one that will sun stress as well. But I think I like it like this. I think I like it dark like this. But yeah, this is another one that I want to style. Look at that. How this, this is not cute at all. Her pot is cute though. But yeah, I'm gonna do something with this one. Cause I like to delve into my creative side, and I've been saying for the longest time that I want to go to some thrift stores and kind of see what they have, see some different ways that I can style some of my plants, because this one is such a beauty. It needs an upgrade. It needs a glow up for sure. So yeah, I am gonna do something cute with this one. But this is the elephant or prick tie. Okay, so that is all the Hoya that I am surrounded by. Of course, I'm gonna have to get up because I have some more that I want to show you. Oh my gosh, this video is gonna be so long. So let me get up and I'm gonna show you some of the other Hoya that I have, and then when I'm finished, we'll come back and talk. Okay, y'all, so on second thought, because this video is already long enough and my storage is low, I think I'm going to end the video here and do a two-parter. I hadn't planned on doing 2 parts. I was just going to go right through. But yes, I'm going to do a part 2 because I still have quite a few Hoya that I still have to show you, okay? So stay tuned for part 2. If you like this content, please feel free to like, share, as well as subscribe. And check me out on my other platforms. I am on TikTok as well as Instagram, and the links are in my bio. Thank you so much for being here. Now, I don't know if the next video is going to be part 2 or not, because I do need to do some repotting big time. So that may be the next video. I'm not for sure, but whatever it is, I'm sure, or I hope that you will enjoy it, okay? All right, y'all, take care. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your wonderful, lovely comments. I appreciate you so much. Take care, and until the next time, hooked on houseplants, y'all. Bye. Mwah.